Welcome to Guzzler.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Guzzler podcast. Well, not really the Guzzler podcast. This is Marvel Mondays. This is episode 4, in which we're talking about episode 6 of WandaVision.
Yeah.
A bit confusing there.
Guzzler Extra.
You right, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, mate. But to be fair though, it's soon we're going to be like, welcome to Marvel Mondays episode like 50, where we talk about, I don't know, like What If or Loki or whatever episode 1.
Yeah.
We're going to get very confused.
Yeah, it will be, yeah. It's just weird at the moment, It's just weird at the moment. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all the other ones. So, yeah, episode 6 of WandaVision. So before we talk about it, what was everyone's opinion of the episode?
It was good.
I thought the one before was better, but this one kind of led on to more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that the one before this one, episode 5, was a big surprise, wasn't it? There was a lot of things in there that was like, oh, when this was more leading towards the rest. I think this was the most different vibe out of all the episodes, even the ones including the first and second episode. I thought this was a completely different vibe to all of them.
I agree with that.
This episode felt like a bridge between the end of the season and the weird start.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's why I think it was just like alright, because I feel like I was just sort of getting a little bit of a taste of WandaVision before next week. Like, I feel like I haven't really watched it, to be honest. Like, there's a little bit of teasers and a little bit of things and stuff, but like, I don't know, it wasn't...
We've been told the last 3 episodes are massive, and this just felt like the build up to that. It was a bit like the first Deathly Hallows Harry Potter. Not a lot happens, but a lot happens in it.
Yeah, it felt like a lengthy prologue, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, mentioning in terms of that, I think Dex basically mentioned it anyway, but like, when in January they said there's 6 hours of WandaVision, right?
Yeah. When
they made it, they said they've made 6 hours. We've only seen 3, but there's 3 episodes left.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So there's 3 hours of WandaVision left to show, but there's only 3 episodes left, which is mental.
I didn't know that, and that is.
I don't know what's going to happen.
That is mad, actually, because you'd think there that what we've got left is literally like almost the whole time of Endgame or Infinity War, isn't it? Like, this is a big film coming up now.
Yeah, massive. There's rumours that there's a 10th episode as well, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure I heard that a long while ago, because I'm sure they said. Well, originally they said there was going to be, what was it, 8 episodes? Was it?
No, they said 6.
It changed a lot.
They said 6, and then they went up to 9.
I thought they went to 8, then they went to 9.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure I heard somewhere there's going to be a 10. Yeah.
There's a lot of rumours there's a 10th episode at the moment, a secret 10th episode. But I feel like that's literally just because there's a week between WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, so people are just adding it on, to be honest. Yeah. I'm not sure it's built in, like... I'm not sure it's come from much more than that.
Because I thought the reason there was 9 episodes... They'd done 9 episodes, which is why they'd done episode 2 within the same week as episode 1, because originally it wasn't supposed to be like that, apparently.
Maybe that also makes sense, yeah. I don't know, but yeah. I don't know what's going to happen.
Started off the... Malcolm in the Middle. Oh, hang on a minute. My thing's just... Wait. Oh, no, it's fine. It just went onto another window for some reason. Right.
Okay, so adding on to that, the Malcolm in the Middle thing. This is my least favourite. This is a very small thing, and nothing against the episode, but this was my least favourite of the like sitcom opening things.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Normally I find them like they're like my favourite. They're like my highlight.
Yeah.
Like the animated one with the tune and all that. I don't know, but this one was just like, it's alright.
This was there's quite a lot about the kids in this, isn't it? There's quite a lot about the kids, and the thing that I really liked when we first saw it was when they was in the Halloween costumes, and he was dressed like, I can't remember is it Billy? He's dressed like Wiccan in like the comic book Wiccan, and I thought that was great. I loved that. As soon as I saw that,
they've all got comic accurate costumes on, apart from Tommy, because his costume in the comics is green, but they doubled him up
costume
as
Quicksilver.
as blue, as Quicksilver.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I do hate Speed's costume in the comics, to be fair. So
yeah,
I don't really mind.
But as soon as I saw that was Wiccan, I turned to Tash and I was like, "He's dressed like Wiccan." I thought that was just really cool, because I know that in the trailers for ages we saw that like Vision was dressed like Vision and Scarlet Witch was dressed like Scarlet Witch, but I liked that the kids were dressed like
they wrote. I found it weird that they wrote into the show that they weren't dressed, like they were dressed as different things. I can't remember what they said now.
Yeah,
Wanda was dressed as like
a Sokovian fortune teller.
That's it, Sokovian fortune teller.
Vision was a Mexican wrestler.
Yeah.
Do you know
Oh yeah, that is one of my favourite lines actually, where he just like tried to be seductive and he was like chili con carne.
Yeah.
That was weird.
What's really annoyed me about that is, right, that was the perfect opportunity for her to say, I'm dressed as the Scarlet Witch.
Right.
As in, like, same idea as the Sokovian fortune teller. We don't know what one of them looks like, but if she'd have said a Sokovian Scarlet Witch, everyone would have been like, oh my god.
But they said Scarlet
fuck.
Witch is going to be part of it though, didn't they? So they probably have another plan. But I agree that is one option that would have made sense.
In my head, I don't know if this might be an obvious thing, I don't know. In my head, she's not dressed as the Sokovian fortune teller. She knows that she is dressed as the Scarlet Witch. And she's dressed in Vision, like Vision. But she just doesn't want to tell her family that because they'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Right. I get you. Maybe. Who knows?
So, Pietro was a massive part of this episode, obviously. Yes. He wasn't just like about, he was there. It was like he was a representative of the audience inside, in my opinion. Like he was asking loads of these questions and things, and they were like questions that we would have as an outsider.
I like the fact that he just didn't give a shit about like keeping up any pretense. He wasn't trying to pretend in any way. He was just saying whatever he wanted to say. I love that.
Yeah, and even he questioned like, why do I look this way and stuff like that. He was
something about his look, right, is it's very comic accurate, but his hair also looks like horns. People were pointing out quite a lot. As in another Mephisto
that's just what
reference.
His hair looks like though, isn't it?
Yeah,
the thing is, like,
but it was just out of all the things that they could have got his character
I
to
feel
look
like people are bending over backwards to find Mephisto things
Yeah.
that have nothing to do with Mephisto at all. And like I still am convinced that maybe Mephisto's involved. I'm not against that idea at all yet. But like people are proper bending over backwards. It's unreal. But yeah, I get what you mean. Some people have mentioned that. That's fair enough.
So we saw we saw Pietro dead again, like from where he'd been shot from Age of Ultron, and it sort of made me disagree with what I said the other week then about the fact that I thought that everyone else can see Vision as dead, but she's just convincing herself that Vision's alive because obviously Pietro is actually there, and she just like forgot for a second and like saw him dead. So
Sounds like there's been another stabbing.
Yeah, that was weird. To be fair, I'm not really sure where they're going with that. So it's like Quicksilver, and like because it's the other Quicksilver, but he's also been. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
because
I feel like this episode opened up a lot of questions.
Yeah,
like a lot.
Because when Vision was dead, it was like that was pretty cool. We know Vision's dead, and it was like everyone was asking like he's dead. But in this one, it was where he'd been shot as Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver, but this was Evan Peters Quicksilver, and he was still dead. And that didn't make a lot of sense, but I'm sure it will make sense. But at the moment, it doesn't make any sense.
The big question it also brings up, especially with the part where Vision exits Westview and starts to fall apart, right? Does that mean that Vision can't live outside Westview, or is his existence currently just tied to it, and there will be a point in time where maybe he comes back?
So I had two opinions on this. My first one was that I think that outside of Westview at the moment, he's not alive and doesn't really exist. Like he's only alive in Westview. But then I also thought that when she turned the barrier the other week to red, and it was like a stronger barrier, I'm wondering that if anyone tries to leave, they will just burn up.
Because the parts of him weren't falling to the ground like he was dead. They were going back
being pulled
into
back
the
in.
Yeah, they were being pulled back.
So was he getting pulled apart and like falling to bits because he was dying by not being in Westview, or was Westview going, no motherfucker, you can't leave, and just pulling him back?
Yeah, I think a bit of both, to be honest. I think Westview is claiming him, but I do also think that he would just die if he left. So like a bit of both, really. But yeah, I do think they're like sucking him in.
But the next bit we got was Vision lying to Scarlet Witch, saying that he was going to do Neighbourhood Watch, and he left, and then they all went trick or treating, didn't they?
And then he gets the outside bits of the town, and none of them are moving because actually like she's controlling the bit that like people see the most, and not worrying about the outside.
The question there is like whether those people are always just doing that because like that's not the big or if the Halloween thing took so much energy specifically that like just during that event they were doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
The thing I
was quite curious about that.
Really strange was that all the way up to here, as soon as Vision says something that she doesn't like, she rewinds and she's like really controlling him. Well, in this one, he was I'm leaving, and then when she found out he wasn't doing Neighbourhood Watch, she was still just like, eh. And she's already very aware that he's becoming self-aware. So I found that strange that she wasn't like absolutely bricking it. Like I need to sort this out. I need to stop him. But instead she was like, all right, well.
One thing I do want to bring up is the advert.
Yeah.
The Yo Magic
advert last week. We did forget that.
So the advert is like the shark comes and gives the yogurt to the person.
This advert was amazing. I love this advert. So it was exactly like the adverts when we were kids.
Yeah, it was.
It's exactly what they used to be like.
Yeah.
So I've pulled two meanings from this. One, is the person is representing the townspeople. Like magic has become upon them, and they're not moving. They can't go anywhere, so they're just slowly dying. Or the person is a representation of Wanda, where a different force gave her the ability or gave her the opportunity to have something, but because she can't wield it properly, because she can't open the yogurt, she's just dying and it's all falling apart.
Well, Tash said that she thought it was the boy represented represented Vision, because it was like he was given the yogurt pot to like save his life, and it was like he was given something, but he couldn't quite get to it, like he couldn't quite touch it, and that was like foreshadowing that later on he tried to leave to get that life, but he couldn't quite be there.
Right.
But like she just thought, we were just talking about it, she just thought maybe that was it. So that's just like another thing. I haven't read anything, so I don't know what anyone else thinks.
Either. I feel like of all the adverts, this is the one that has like clearly a very definitive. It means something.
Yeah.
Whereas like last week's was just like the capital of Nigeria thing from when she blew up the building.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't anything like. Whereas this is definitely, when you watch the series, this advert's going to mean something. I just feel it.
It something else. And Quicksilver said it when they were trick or treating. Is when he sent the kids off, he said, go do damage devil spawn or something like that. He called them devil spawn or demon spawn, which is another massive, like, clear hint to something. Is it another diversion tactic?
See, I didn't take that as a hint. I took that as just like a little bit of an Easter egg for like from the comics.
But you don't want the Mephisto thing, though.
I don't, so I'm trying to like argue against it. But I think that it might have just been like a little Easter egg.
Right.
They are Devil Spawn. Because there's another thing that Wanda mentioned.
True,
she said, so she just mentioned Kick-Ass or something.
Kick-Ass.
I found it weird that Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters were both in Kick-Ass together.
Yeah,
they definitely
that was a nice little Easter egg.
And then another one was when they walked past the movie theatre, behind them there was Parent Trap, which I think came out in 1998.
And The
Incredibles, which came out in 2004, 2003, 2004, I think. And this is obviously set in the 90s. I found that strange, and I don't know why that's there, but I thought maybe just because Incredibles superhero family and Parent Trap is about two twins.
Well, a lot of people
almost definitely.
A lot of people took The Incredibles as a Fantastic Four reference because that's what the Incredibles are loosely related to.
They were based off.
Yeah. So again, we're hearing about this aerospace engineer. Who do you think it is?
Yes. Yeah. Who is it?
Him. It's a him. We know it's a him now.
They mentioned it was a guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people thought it was Riri Williams.
Riri Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are thinking it's Reed Richards.
It's a he.
But
yeah.
I think it's way too early to bring him in.
I saw that Reed Richards was trending.
I think it's too early to bring in Reed Richards as well.
I'm really looking forward to Fantastic Four.
Episodes, that trending.
Because it opens up the opportunity to bring Sentry into the MCU, which is, of course, my favourite hero. I don't think they would, but it gives the opportunity to because he's in their world. But a lot of people think it could be Blue Marvel. because he's an aerospace engineer as well.
I was trying to think of aerospace engineers, but I couldn't really think of many that they could just drop in without it being mental.
I think the most likely it could be is Reed Richards. I do think that.
Or Doctor Doom. Could be Doctor Doom.
To be fair, when we say that it's too early to bring them in, if you look at like Phase 1 of Marvel, when there was like they had War Machine and Iron Man 2, and they had Black Widow and Iron Man 2 and stuff like that, and Black Widow's film is only going to come out this year.
To be fair,
that, like,
if he comes in and he's just like, even if it's a fleeting cameo, he just builds them the thing that gets them through the barrier. And leaves. If they've shown him, mate, rock on for the next 2 weeks. Like that's going to be massive. It's going to be something completely different that we've all been waiting to see.
And in Civil War, Spider-Man was in it, and Black Panther was in it, and stuff like that. I think they could do it because it
would be sick. I think it'd be sick. I just don't think they'll do it because I think it's too big, but it would be sick.
Yeah. Now
the film's not that far away, really, is it?
No, it's not.
Sorry, but it's not that far, really.
Director Hayward, is he becoming more of an antagonist in this show?
Yeah, 100%. He's a massive dickhead. Yeah. He's horrible.
Yeah, he is.
I was wondering
he's the worst.
When he gets put into like Westview, because they're obviously changing into like clowns and different characters, I'm wondering if he will turn into a Marvel villain, like a big comic book villain for some reason. That's just like who he becomes inside.
But remember, that's just an interpretation of her mind. So she would be giving him that persona. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm wondering if it's someone who she's dealt with previously could be.
But yeah, he's like becoming more and more dangerous, as it would seem. And obviously he got away, and so did Monica and Wu. They've gone to find the aerospace engineer. Hayward, we're assuming, is going to come back with more force. Where's Nick Fury? He's watching this. You know he's got eyes on everything. So why hasn't he intervened yet?
Because isn't at the moment he's in space.
He's on the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you watch Far From Home, the hexagon is in that little chamber that he's sat in. If you go and look at Far From Home back, you know when we see him, he's on the beach, isn't he? Well, on the side wall, the hexagon that we keep seeing from like S.H.I.E.L.D's view of the hex is on the wall. So he's watching it. He must know what's going on. And when has Nick Fury ever known what isn't going on in the MCU?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but like, he famously doesn't get involved with shit when it is convenient, right? Like how he didn't use the Captain Marvel thing throughout the other two Avengers films, which makes no sense. Because why on earth would he not have done that? But maybe there is a reason for it. I don't know. Maybe there is a reason. Could be interesting. Yeah. Interesting question.
We're getting more hints to Monica becoming Photon. Darcy was like,
are we?
Yeah, Darcy brought up the scans, didn't she? And she was like, "You've been through twice now. It's physically changing you." Do you not remember that in
Yeah.
So is this a hint to mutant gene? She can physically mutate people.
The thing that I did think of is when Wanda said to Pietro, "Do you remember where we grew up when our parents had died?" And they're referring to that place. That sounds like Professor X's like manor. That's why that's cool. But again, I don't think they'll do anything about that. But it's just like planting seeds for the future, I think.
Yeah.
What was I thinking else? Obviously, when he goes to see Agnes, doesn't he, at the end of the town, and she says that he's dead. Which we know, but he's now getting he's very aware now. I don't know possibly how next episode he can just sort of rock back up and be like, right, just pretend nothing else has happened.
He can't, right?
Yeah. No.
The thing about
the next episode is supposed to be like The Office and like Modern Family, where they address like the camera. And like, how's he going to be like real like happy like they are in Modern Family in The Office, just like hey.
Find out.
The thing about the Agnes scene that's getting me is up until now, Agnes has known what's going on. or we've assumed she's known what's going on. Like, she asked Wanda things like, do me to take it from the top and things like that. She knows something, right?
Yeah.
But in that scene, she was just another Westview citizen.
True,
so
yeah.
was she acting to Vision, or is she
I
actually?
thought that as well.
Yeah,
Was
it's
she
a
acting
weird.
to Vision? Was she trying to like turn them on each other? But then maybe she just had more like. Yeah, I don't know. I did think that as well. I did think it was odd.
Yeah,
Then maybe she's just been acting more like realistic and a bit more like lively and with a bit more agency just because she's Wanda's neighbour. So it's like she's in close proximity.
I was going to say,
Wanda.
yeah, when she's on the outside of town,
right.
she loses
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
But I agree, Declan. I did think that maybe she was based off of the original theories that she's involved in, like the Mephisto and the controlling thing. Maybe she's trying to turn like Wanda on Vision, and they've got like a bigger plan. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything, so I'm just guessing.
I did find it weird that she did that massive witch's cackle, didn't she, in the car as well?
Yeah.
Like,
And things like Herb, when Vision touched him last episode, and he started saying things like she and her, not specifically saying Wanda. Not
But she did
specifically
specifically say
saying
Wanda
Wanda
this week.
But Herb didn't last week, so we thought that Agnes might be playing a part somewhere.
Yep.
You know, but one massive thing at the end then was the expansion of the border.
Yeah, that was nice. That was my favourite scene. That was
Yeah, that
nice.
was really
Just
nice.
watching stuff change was just sick.
Yeah. All the tents turning into like the circus tents, the
That was
cars
really
turned into
cool.
like the old gypsy caravans and stuff like that. I thought that was good fun.
So is this gonna happen like all the way around the world, and it's gonna start mutating people?
I don't think so.
What?
Is
But she stopped
Is-
moving the bubble.
yeah, but is at some point she gonna get really vexed towards the end of the series,
Right, I get
lose
you mean, yeah,
lose
yeah,
her
yeah.
rag, and just explode it all over the world?
I think
And we
that's
know
too
it's
much.
starting to mutate people.
I don't think she will.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's too much at that point.
But I get what you mean. This is again talking about the like House of M thing or whatever, where she turns people
Yeah,
into
yeah.
mutants and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I feel
That
like
is
they've
interesting
talked
thought, I
about
hadn't thought about
mutants too much for them not to introduce them in some way now. Like, there's way too much
Yeah.
about mutants in this show.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're just really sowing the seeds. I feel like that's
I
too
think so as
like.
well. I think they're just planting seeds for the
direct.
future.
But even like Hayward, when his dislike of superpowered individuals, that's again X-Men. It's so like, you know, it just feels too there.
But I think that's again just planting seeds for the future, because you could say like that in the first phase they were sorting out, like Nick Fury was sorting out people to make the Avengers, and then even with the Infinity Stones there was all the stuff all the way through like 23 films about Thanos and Infinity Stones. We sat to wait all that time for
Hold
that.
on.
So from now you could still wait 23 films to get
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
get-
with you, I agree
yeah.
with you. I am going to talk about a theory that I've seen. This isn't like I watch Jeremy John's things because he doesn't really talk about like loads of random
Yeah.
shit. Have you watched his recent thing?
I haven't known.
So Jeremy Johns has a theory, right? And like I say, I don't look up theories at all, but it's Jeremy Johns, and this is something he's come up with on his own, and it is just the most dumb thing it's ridiculous. It's absolutely. So Catherine Hahn, who plays what's her name? Agnes, is also in Spider-Verse, right?
Yes, plays Doctor.
She plays. Yes.
Mm.
Now Jeremy Johns thinks that Agnes might be Dr. Octopus from the Spider-Verse films because the multiverse is coming into it, and there's a Spider-Verse 2 coming out. That is single-handedly the worst theory I've ever heard in my entire life, and that would make no sense at all. At all. It's an awful theory. If that's true, I'll
quit
bathe
now.
in a bath of beans, and I'll be fuming, absolutely fuming.
I'd like to see that.
'Cause it's just
That is
awful.
cool.
It would
Yeah,
just
it's
be
awful.
terrible. Everyone would be
It would.
confused. No one would see the point of it. It just makes no sense. So yeah, that's the only theory I've seen because I'm not looking up theories, but that's what Jeremy Johns said. And I think
Wow.
that's just so dumb.
That is dumb. So I think we've covered pretty much everything from that episode. Yeah, all the main things, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think masses really happened, to be honest
No,
with you. It's just sowing the seeds and...
Both the kids got both their powers, and obviously they dressed as
Yes.
like Wiccan and Speed, and I think that
That was nice.
yeah. And I mentioned to you after yesterday as well that I'm sure there was a new Avengers where
There's
Wiccan,
a Young
Speed,
Avengers with
Young
Wiccan,
Avengers,
Speed and Kate Bishop. Yeah.
and
there is
because
definitely.
Kate Bishop's coming into it.
Yeah.
So I think that
They're definitely going to set up a Young Avengers team. I think they 100% will.
Even if I don't think it would take over a massive film, but I think it would be like a TV series.
Yeah, maybe. And like I said, I'd like to see Loki involved just because like my favourite Young Avengers run has Loki in it, and I think any chance to use Loki is always a nice thing, right?
Yeah. And Hulkling, he's a Skrull, isn't he?
Yeah. So Hulkling's like, he's half Skrull,
half Skrull.
Kree.
I think
I'm
it's
pretty
Kree.
sure.
Yeah.
Because there's the most recent crossover event in Marvel's called Empire,
Right.
and it's about Hulkling becomes the Emperor. He becomes Emperor Hulkling of the combined Kree and Skrull Empire, and it involves like the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and stuff like that. That is just that's just what's happening in the comics at the moment, but it's quite an interesting thing.
Because obviously
we're
getting a Skrull and all that stuff's in it at the moment, so it makes sense for those things to happen as well, doesn't it? That's you know.
Yeah, massively so.
Yeah.
The Kree and Skrull have become part of the universe. So
yeah. There you go. Well, I think that's all of it. So next Monday we'll be back with talking about episode 7, which, as we expect, as we mentioned at the start, might be an hour long, so we imagine quite big.
Might be an hour long, yeah.
What if this one's like 20 minutes? The next one's 20 minutes, and the last episode's like 2 hours.
That's what people said. They're like, "What if the last one's just like a film?" That'd be crazy.
Wow.
We don't know. They've kept it very under wraps.
They have.
Very under wraps.
So next week I imagine it'll be a big one. So I look forward to it. Very much look forward to it. And that'll be led by you, Declan. So see you back in a week. And on Wednesday, we've got a podcast coming out about the things that annoy me in this world. So check that out on Wednesday. See you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to this Guzzler podcast.